The throw. Has time. Pass. End zone. Caught. It's good. D. Anderson and the Showboats have won it in overtime. Going to hand this off up the middle for Marable. He's going to fumble. Ball's loose. And St. Louis picks it up. That will do it. The Battlehawks defense makes a play late. Game on the line. Looking to throw. Has time. End zone. Incomplete. It's incomplete. The Stallions hang on to win. For overtime. DeLeo to throw. Pass. Caught by Roland. Needs some help. Not gonna get it. He's stopped a yard short. Houston will pull off the upset. Looking to throw. Has time. Deep. Right side overthrown. Picked off. It's intercepted by Keenan Isaac. He's gonna need it right there. If they hand this off right side for Roland, they convert the 10-5. Chris Roland. I should shut up. Chris Roland touchdown. That's the dagger. Knicks toss left side and there's room. Pass past the 30, past the 40, past the 20, 15, 10, 5. RJ Harvey. There we go. One play. Just need one play out of you. Gonna play action and look to throw. Mariota, sometime. Pass, intercepted. It's picked off. Yes, yes. One play was all they needed. Jack Jones. Williams, play action. Rolling left, looking to throw. Has time. Pass, end zone, intercepted. It's Keyshawn Nixon calling game. Darnold to throw. Has time. Pass, wide open. Over the middle. The Seattle Seahawks do it. Play action looking to throw. Williams has some time. Pass deep. Over the middle. Has a man. It's DJ Moore. Touchdown Chicago. They win in overtime. Snap good. Hold good. Kick up. And he missed it. Wide right. The Steelers will host Houston on Monday night. Williams in shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. 4th and 4. Trip to Seattle on the line. Man in motion. Williams looking to throw. Pressure coming. Rolling left. Trying to buy some time. Back near the 40. Pass left side. Williams is caught. Touchdown Chicago. Cole Kmet. Somehow the magic remains. What? May looking to throw in 3rd and 6. Rolling left. Gonna take it himself. And that will do it. A first down carry. It's a gain of 7. And the Patriots have booked their ticket to Santa Clara. Zeros on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks, for the first time since 2014, are your NFC champion. Hello, everybody, and welcome on in. It's Friday night. Week 6 of the UFL continues. It's a rematch from last week. It is the Columbus Aviators taking on the Houston Gamblers. Houston got the win last week at home. Columbus trying to split the season series and get a win at home. This should be a pretty interesting game, to say the least. Last week's matchup between the two was a defensive slugfest that did see Columbus kind of shoot themselves in the foot at times throughout last week. But you do never really know how the rematches are going to come, or you never really know how the rematches are going to play out. So we shall see. This is Columbus's second back-to-back in the span of 4 weeks. And they split that series against Dallas, looking to do the same here against Houston. St. Louis and DC split their season series. We have another rematch on Sunday to see between Birmingham and Orlando. We have a lot of rematches coming up. But we are entering the second half of the season, so that's kind of to be expected. Yep, welcome on in. Kickoff is moments away in this one. I'm very curious and excited to see how the Columbus fan base shows up for this game. I imagine it's still going to be pretty well, even with them being 1-3 entering this week. But we shall see. We shall see. Kickoff is moments away. And a 1-4 entering this week. Yeah. Teams are taking the field. Kickoff is moments away. And so far, it does seem like that Columbus faithful is still showing up, and I love to see that. Again, it's gonna be a slow start for them as a team. But honestly, with how the week has played out so far, this is a good chance for them as well. Nolan Henderson seemingly going to be the starter today for Houston. He's been a starter the past few weeks for them. Still has yet to throw a touchdown pass on the season. That's going to need to come sooner rather than later for this Houston offense. Because you can only give the opposing offenses so much leeway in terms of how many points you need to score. And there's Jalen McClellan. You know, part of me is kind of shocked that Columbus hasn't flirted with the idea of a quarterback change yet this season. Because Jalen Morton, I think, only has like 2 or 3 snaps on the year. There's definitely some weeks where I feel like he could have gotten some like second half action, but they're holding strong with McClellan, and I have to respect it. All right, one more commercial break, and then we get the kickoff. One more commercial break. Again, no real expectations for this game. Last week's matchup wasn't the most entertaining of games, but again, the second of a back-to-back can always end up being a bit more exciting. But yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. Waiting for the opening kick. Yeah, last night's game between St. Louis and Louisville was not the greatest. Hopefully this one is a bit more competitive than what that was. As well as tomorrow's game between DC and Dallas. Shaping up to be a pretty solid one. We'll see how that plays out. And then obviously the Sunday game between Birmingham and Orlando. That's going to be... I mean, there's a storyline at least in that one with Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting against his old team for the first time. But besides from that, yeah, that's... Who knows? Who knows? Maybe that one's competitive. The first time those two teams played was a 16-0 shutout, so... Can only gauge things so much. But yeah. Kickoff moments away. Moments away. Yeah. Again, no real expectations for this. I'm kind of curious to see how this Columbus team bounces back. But again, at the end of the day, these two teams are I mean, Houston's in the best spot between these two record-wise, and if they can get the win again today, they find themselves in a pretty okay spot at 3-3, and being a game back of St. Louis. So they're in a good position if they can just hold on. But it is going to come down to Nolan Henderson in this. He needs to... This pass and offense needs to get a bit more going. All right, teams are lined up. Who's getting the ball first in this? I imagine it's Columbus. We've been seeing home teams get the ball quite a bit first. Yep, it's Columbus. So Columbus starts with the ball. We'll see Jalen McClellan and that Columbus offense first and foremost. A 48-degree night from Columbus, Ohio, for this Friday night edition of the UFL Week 6. And again, pretty nicely filled out historic Crew Stadium. Probably want a little bit more, but with how this team has played this year, Not going to put it past them too much. As kickoff is underway, going to be returned beginning from the 7. Spaced out past the 10, past the 15, 20, 25, and brought down right around the 26. Columbus will start from there. And out comes Jalen McClellan. Again, had an okay game against Houston last week. Again, gonna be wanting a better performance out of the entire team as a whole, aside from the defense. Again, the defense was not the issue last week. All right, McClellan in shotgun. McClellan in shotgun back to his left, and they're audible, and they're going into Wildcat now. Oh, no, they were in Wildcat, and now McClellan's in shotgun back to us. Okay, first play of the game going to be a handoff right side for John Lovett. Going to have space past the 30 to about the 31 or so. So they lined up initially in Wildcat. Shifted entirely, like damn near every skill position shifted there to go back to a standard formation just to run inside zone. I feel like that would have been a little bit cooler if they started standard then shifted to Wildcat, but oh well. McClellan in shotgun back to his left, 3 receiving options to the left as well. Man in motion on that left side to the left, now back to left, back to right, now back to left. So McClellan throws right side, going to be caught. Makes one man miss. Makes one man miss, has space past the 45 to about the 47 or so for Kiki Chisholm. Yeah, just quick hitter for the first. So 1st and 10, ball on their side of midfield, still at about the 49. McClellan in shotgun back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Pass right side, going to be caught to about the Houston 46. It is Alize Mack on the grab. So Columbus is past midfield on the opening drive. 2nd and 4 coming up. McClellan in shotgun back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. 2nd and 4, quick pass left side, can be caught by Tay Martin and should be enough for the first. I think the little extra effort there going to get him directly to that 41-yard line should be enough. Yep. Not bad. Again, opening drives you can only gauge so much from. I mean, we saw that last week in the same matchup where Houston had a really good first 2 drives and then didn't do pretty much anything offensively the rest of the game. McClellan under center, back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side, play action looking to throw. McClellan with some time, pump faking, now pass over the middle is high and incomplete. Nearly a diving interception for Houston, but couldn't hang on to it. It's Eli Walker, the defender there on the dropped INT. What was McClellan seeing here? Because that ball sailed on him. Oh yeah, there's someone wide open over the middle. It's Antoine Wells. His feet weren't set and the ball sailed on him. If that's on target, it's a gain of 20. McClellan under center, back and fullback behind him. 2nd and 10, gonna hand this off up the middle. Good patient running from John Lovett, gonna find a hole but only pick up 2 off of it. So it will be a 3rd and about 8. They're in field goal range, just past the 40. But still, you would want to do a little more, as Ryan Coe did miss a few times last week in the loss. So 3rd and 8, McClellan in shotgun, 3 receiving options to the left, 2 to the right. Ball on the Houston 39. McClellan looking to throw. Has some time, pass left side, it's caught and gonna fight his way for the first, it seems. Gonna be just enough for Gunnar Oaks. They moved the chains on 3rd and 8. Not bad. Again, keeping it simple early on. Oh, now they're saying he's short. All right, so there's a 4th and 1, probably 4th and inches more so. And they're going to keep the offense on the field. McLennan under center. Yeah, this is a 4th and inches. Back behind him, too, receiving options to each side. Would be shocked if they don't just QB sneak this. They're going to toss it left side in their space for the 1st and more. Pass it 25 to 20 and out of bounds around the 20, around the 16 for John Lovett. All right, no, that works just as well. You do a fake jet sweep and toss it to the left. Yeah, Houston was fully expecting something up the middle. All right, good play call for Todd Haley. So 1st and 10, ball on the Houston 16. Columbus is in the red zone on the opening drive of the game. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right, gonna hand this off up the middle, and there's space for Lovett down to about the 10. Maybe they give him the 9. Nonetheless, it's a gain of about 6 or so. All right. And solid opening drive so far. They're killing time as well on this opening drive, which I like. And McLennan will be on the sideline for this play, so I assume it's a package set up for Jalen Morton at quarterback. They like to do this occasionally. And yep, there's Jalen Morton. All right, in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Going to shift the back to his right. As Morton going to keep it himself right side and is going to get about 2. All right. I don't hate the play call of a designed QB keeper, but I kind of feel like you're doing that a lot with Jalen Morton when he does see the field. You kind of need to shift it up a tad bit. I mean, maybe like have someone leak out for a route on that play next time you run it for the potential of a big play. McLennan back in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left, man in motion left to right. Ball on the 8-yard line, handoff up the middle, gonna be enough for the 1st as he fights his way to the 5. It's John Lovett on the carry. So 1st and goal coming up for Columbus. On a really damn good opening drive. We're at 8:45 left to play in the 1st quarter. This is a 10+ play drive. These long sustained drives from Columbus, when they always try to get these. When they do, it's beautiful. When they don't, the offense can tend to struggle, obviously. But of all the teams, Columbus's long sustained drives look nice. McLennan under center, back behind him. Going to toss this up the middle, and there's going to be space to about the 3-yard line or so. John Lovett on the carry. 2nd goal coming up. Yeah, they're killing time on this drive. I love it. It's so far a 12-play, 7-minute drive to begin the game for Columbus. That's beautiful. McLennan under center, back and fullback behind him. Ball on roughly the Houston 3. McLennan, play action, looking to throw. Has some time, rolling right to buy some more. Looking for the end zone, just going to throw this one away, incomplete. There's a penalty marker down now as well. Might be going against Houston. We'll see. Refs will discuss. With 7:33 to play in the 1st. We're halfway through the 1st quarter already. Oh, it's roughing the passer against Houston. So half the distance to the goal and automatic 1st downs. 1st and goal now for Columbus once again. Who are they calling this on? Calling it against Eugene Asante. And yeah, he hit McLennan high. The former Dolphin linebacker. Hits him late. Hits him a bit high there. Maybe late. Definitely high. I get it. McLennan under center. Back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Tight man in motion right to left. 1st and goal from about the 2. Handoff up the middle. Going to be stuffed at the line for no gain. All right, 7:15 to play in the 1st. Again, I get that penalty only means that this is going to be an even longer drive for Columbus. This is the type of drive you want to begin the game. Houston had a similar one last week to begin the game. I mean, and it helped them to a degree. They won, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was because of that drive. McLennan in shotgun back to his left, two receiving options to each side. They're going to say it was a loss of about 1, so second goal from the 3. McLennan going to hand this off right side for John Lovett, and he is in. Columbus strikes on the opening drive. A beautiful, long, sustained drive to begin the game for Columbus. It was only 6:40 to play in the first quarter. That was a beaut of a drive. Again, these long, sustained drives maybe aren't the most like energetic of drives, and maybe aren't like the most appealing. But I do love seeing them, especially when they're effective, long, sustained drives, and they average about 4 to 5 yards of play on them. So Ryan Coe on for the extra point. It is up, and it is right down the middle. Beautiful drive to start the game. Absolute beaut. What's the official number on that? That comes in at a 14 play drive spanning just about 8.5 minutes to begin the game. Whew. That is nice. Again, Houston had a similar drive last week. Let me see what the exact number for theirs was. Yeah, so we're at commercial break. We're going to be seeing Houston's offense for the first time in this one. Yeah, Houston's first drive last week was 13 plays, 7 minutes. So that was an even longer sustained drive. That was more similar to Columbus's game sealing drive against Dallas a few weeks back when they had that 18 play drive. Again, teams that can have those long sustained drives, again, maybe aren't the funnest team to watch, but their teams are. If you can get those drives consistently, you're gonna find success. But we will see Nolan Henderson in this Houston offense for the first time tonight when we get back from commercial break. Hey, Malik Willis threw out the first pitch in the Marlins game tonight. Oh, that was okay. All right, at commercial break. Should be coming out of it here soon. There we go. Just coming out of commercial break. All right, so again, we'll see Nolan Henderson in his Houston offense. What does Nolan Henderson got? This is his 4th start on the year, and he's still yet to throw a touchdown pass. So Columbus putting the pressure on early. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 6, space out past the 20, past the 25, past the 30. Gonna be brought down more so at the 30. Could have gotten past the 30. So out comes Nolan Henderson. All right. What is Houston going to be able to muster up on their opening drive? Again, last week they had a nice 13-play drive to begin things. Can they do something similar this week? Henderson alone in shotgun. 3 receiving options to the left, 2 to the right. Quick throw left side. Going to be caught for the receiver screen. That's going to get a yard, maybe 2 it seems. Justin Hall on the grab. They're being a bit generous on that spot. All right. So 2nd and 8. Staying a gain of 2 on 1st and 10. Henderson in shotgun. Back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Ball roughly on their own 31. Henderson making adjustments at the line. Back now to his right. Play clock winding down to get the snap off in time. The handoff going left. Going to get about 3 or so for Marcus Yarns. And it'll be a 3rd and roughly 5. All right, 3rd and 5. Henderson in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Ball on their own 34. Henderson looking to throw. Has some time, rolling right to buy some more. Gonna look to take it himself. He has space for the first and a whole lot more. Past midfield, past the 40, 35, 30. And finally brought down, but not before getting to the Columbus 29-yard line. Nolan Henderson can use his legs insanely well. He cannot pass the ball, it seems, for sure. A good coverage on the back end is just too much space on that right side. And great blocking down the field as well by the tight end. Yeah, he has that speed on him. So 1st and 10, 4.5 to go in the first quarter. Henderson shotgun back to his left. Now motion in the back to his right. And a timeout going to be called right before the play clock expired. Houston calls their first with 4:25 to play in the first. First and 10 coming up. First and 10, ball on the Columbus 29. Henderson shotgun, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. Going to hand this off left side, and that's a gain of about a 1 for Jalen White on the carry, it seems. And this was 2nd and 8 coming up. Henderson in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. It is 2nd and 8. Henderson making adjustments at the line. Back now to his right as Henderson going to play action and look to throw. Quick pass left side caught and going to get about 4 or so on the plays. Jalen Moreno Cropper on the reception. All right. Henderson going to hand this off left side on 3rd and 4. Has enough for the first inside the 15 to about the 13 for Jalen White. All right. 1st and 10 for Houston inside the red zone. Henderson in shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Ball on the Columbus 13-yard line. Handoff left side for Marcus Major, and he walks it in untouched for 6. Back-to-back touchdowns to start this game, and we might be in for a shootout here. A really good opening drive for Houston. Highlighted by that massive carry by Nolan Henderson on the 3rd down earlier in this drive. It's capped off thanks to Marcus Major from 13 yards out. All right. All right, the extra point is up, and it is good. There is a penalty on the extra point. It's a false start against Houston. They have to re-kick. All right, so now the extra point to tie things up. From 38 yards out, it is up and still right down the middle. All right, so back-to-back solid drives to begin this game. I'm trying to get an idea for a head start on because for the upcoming during the off season, like after this year, I want to make a massive pronunciation guide for the NFL. So I'm trying to get a jump start on the idea for that. And for some reason, the Arizona Cardinals media guide is messed up on the NFL website right now. I don't know why. I also just find that fitting that it's Arizona that's the cause for. Yep, add commercial break after that drive. We'll see Columbus once again afterwards. Don't tell me that. Okay, this is gonna take more digging into stuff than I thought it was going to. Why does the Falcons just... Okay, I'm gonna look at this at a later date. There's this starting to create a rabbit hole I was not expecting. Alright. Just getting back from commercial break. After the 7-play drive for Houston to tie things up. Columbus back to return. Kickoff underway with 2:26 to play in the first. Going to be returned beginning from the 8. Phase past the 20, past the 25. Going to get past the 30 and out of bounds around the 33, maybe 34. Hello. Welcome on in. At first and 10 for Columbus. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receiving options to the right. Going to look to throw in first and 10, pass left side, tipped and incomplete. Looking for Kiki Chisholm. All right. Second and 10 coming up. Just about 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. A receiver in the backfield to his right. Man in motion left to right now as well. Ball on their own 33. McLennan, play action looking to throw. Pass left side, gonna be caught. Enough for the first. It's Gunnar Oaks on the grab. A good throw from Jalen McLennan. Finding a window there in between 3 Gamblers defenders. Not an easy throw. Didn't have time to set his feet either. That's actually a really damn good throw. All right, so first and 10. McLennan under center, back and fullback behind him. Ball now on their own 44-yard line. McLennan gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's gonna be stuffed at the line for no gain. Eugene Asante on the tackle at the line. Second and 10 coming up. 1 minute to play in the first. Most likely 1 play needed until the end of the first quarter. So they gave him a yard on that as being generous. McLennan under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Play clock winding down. Ball on their own 44 just about. McLennan gonna hand this off up the middle, and there's space for about 4 or 5 on the play. It's Toa on the carry, and that'll probably be the final play of the first quarter. Yep, that's the end of the first. 15 minutes in the books. Things all tied up in Columbus after 2 really good drives to begin the game for each side. 1 for each side. The 14 play, the just over 8-minute drive from Columbus to begin the game, followed up by a nice 7-play drive for Houston to respond. And that puts us at commercial break for the end of the first. Nice. Yep, at commercial break. All right, at commercial break. All right, at commercial break. Waiting for the start of the second quarter. It'll be about a 3rd and 5-ish. for Columbus when we get back. All right, at commercial break. And just should be coming out of commercial break here soon for the start of the second. Yep, here we go. Second quarter on the way here soon. Just getting back from commercial break. All right, McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. 3rd and 6. Going to quick pass this right side. It's caught by Tay Martin with space for the first and a whole lot more. Pass to Houston 40 and out of bounds around the 39. All right, good way to start the quarter. Nearly tipped at the line there, but it gets just enough in that throw to get past him. Damn, Damon Arnett's on the sideline right now for Houston. Damn. McLennan under center, back and fullback behind him. 1st and 10, going to play action and look to throw. McLennan with some time, passing right side, gonna be incomplete. Looking for Alize Mack, nearly gets the head topper there. It was Glendon Miller in coverage and 2nd and 10 coming up. All right. Yeah, that's a near head topper of a catch. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. They get the snap off in time. A quick pass left side for the receiver screen. Gonna have some space for Antoine Wells. Gets out of bounds inside the 35 at roughly the 32, it seems. So a 3rd and 2 coming up. And yeah, that's gonna be roughly the 32-yard line. So McLennan under center, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. Gonna hand this off, going right on the jet sweep for Antoine Wells. Base inside the 20 and finally forced out of bounds at the 15. Beautiful play call. On the opening drive, on a pretty similar situation and yard mark, they ran the fake jet sweep with the toss left. This time they hand off the jet sweep and essentially go fake toss left. So on the first one, Houston was expecting the jet sweep. This time they're expecting the toss. Just play mind games with them. So McLennan in shotgun, back to his right, receiver in the backfield to his left. Ball in the Houston 16. Going to hand this off up the middle for Toa Tawa, who has space to about the 12. I do like that Toa Tawa is getting a bit more involved throughout the season. He's a really damn good power back. So 2nd and 7 coming up. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Ball on the Houston 13. Going to look to throw. McLennan with some time. Gonna dump this off over the middle. Is caught by Talwa down to about the 9-yard line. Setting up a 3rd and 3 from inside the 10. Third and 3. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. McLennan looking to throw a pass over the middle, caught by Antoine Wells, gonna stay on his feet and stumble his way down to the end zone. They're saying he's in. Columbus strikes on back-to-back drives. I thought he might have been down short there for a sec. It's gonna be reviewed, but as it stands, Antoine Wells from 9 yards out regains the lead for Columbus. That's 5 yards of hand in dirt, staying on your feet. Okay, when does that elbow touch? Do we have a... Yeah, there we go. When does that elbow touch? Ooh, that's... Yeah, I think that crosses. If this does stand, that is 5 yards of stumbling down to the end zone. It's close, but I think it does cross the plane barely. The issue is with this, this camera angle that they're showing now, the ball is blocked. You can't really tell. And it's gonna stand. Extra point is up, and Columbus regains their 7-point lead. So another really good drive for the Aviators. They're just a pretty good team. As it brings us to a commercial break. At commercial break. They didn't show it that time, but what was that drive length? 11 play, 6-minute drive to retake the lead. That's back-to-back 10-plus play drives for Columbus to start this game. Again, similar to what we saw from Houston last week in their win against Columbus. They also had back-to-back 10-plus play drives to begin the game. Yeah. Last week, Houston had a 13 and a 12 play drive to begin the game. Columbus this week, 14 and 11 play drive. The difference, Columbus went 3 and out on their first drive last week. Houston at least responded well. So we'll see. We'll see if Houston can keep on responding. That's all that's really going to be. All that's really going to be the judge in this one. But at commercial break after the 11-play touchdown drive. At commercial break. All right, just getting back from commercial break. See how Houston responds. All right, kickoff underway. 11:21 to play in the first half. Kick going to be returned beginning from the 7, spaced out past the 20, past the 25, past the 30, and brought down right around the 33, maybe, yeah, 33 or so. Pretty solid return. So, how does Houston respond? Henderson in shotgun, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Play action, looking to throw. Henderson with some time. Pass in left side, going to be caught just past midfield to about the 49-yard line. That is Lawrence. No, that's, yeah, Lawrence Keys on the grab. All right. They're going to give him midfield. All right. Henderson in shotgun, back to his right. Going to hand this off up the middle. And that's going to fight for about half a yard or so. Does get him past midfield, so Houston can no longer punt on this drive. So 2nd and 9 coming up. Henderson in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receivers to each side. Ball roughly on the Columbus 49-yard line. Henderson hands this off up the middle, and that's going to be stuffed for about a loss of 5, but there is a penalty down. Henderson gets hit there after kind of a late handoff. They're going to call this a personal foul penalty? No shot this is actually a penalty on Columbus, right? Yeah, they're saying personal foul against Columbus. That is soft. That's being a bit much, don't you think? Unless it was a different spot where the personal foul was, but it doesn't seem like it. So now ball on the Columbus 35. Henderson in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. Play action pass over the middle, going to be incomplete. And there's going to be another penalty on Columbus after the big hit. I couldn't tell from the camera angle we got. Maybe that was helmet to helmet. But if that's not helmet to helmet, this is back-to-back pretty soft penalties against Columbus. And yeah, there's the refs you suck chant. Deserved. Okay, I mean, unless I see a camera angle where that's helmet to helmet, that feels kind of soft. Yeah, they're saying personal foul against Columbus. Back-to-back personal fouls have just massively extended this drive for Houston. 30 yards of this drive were off penalties. That's not a great look. Okay, this would be the camera angle to tell me. Was this helmet to helmet? Okay, that's helmet to helmet. That one I get. The first one, not so much. Henderson pass left side, gonna be incomplete. Couldn't get his feet in bounds there. Looking for Moreno Cropper. So 2nd and 10 coming up. I'm waiting for a ball don't lie moment on this drive. So 2nd and 10, Henderson in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Gonna toss this right side, and that's a loss of 3. This Columbus defense, though, like, they're still holding strong on this. Kendrick Whitehead on the tackle for loss. They're only saying it's a loss of 1. Yeah. But 3rd and 11 coming up, just under 9 minutes to play in the first half. Columbus is getting loud. Looking to make a stand. Henderson alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Looking to throw. Pass right side, going to be caught, but going to be out of bounds around, was that the 15? So Columbus bends but doesn't break even after all the penalties. That was Caden Davis on the reception for Houston. They forced the field goal try. So they bend but don't break even after the back-to-back personal foul penalties. One of them being kind of soft. The defense holds strong. Going to be a 33-yard kick, so basically an extra point. Kick is up, and it's right down the middle. 4-point game with 8 minutes to go in the first half. Not bad, not bad. Been a solid one. And we head to commercial break. At commercial break. At commercial break. We await Columbus's next drive, up by 4. At commercial break. Yo, if the Magic pull this out. Who would Orlando play the next round? Would it just be... It would just be New York, right? I would think so. Alright, just getting back from commercial break. Let's see what Columbus can do, up by 4 on this next drive. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Yeah, they scored on the first 2 drives of the game. What can they do on the third? John Hoyland on to kick this one down. Going to be returned beginning from the 13. Oh, gets muffed. Picked up now at the 17. Gets past the 20. Breaks off one would-be tackler. Has some space down to past the 25 at the 27. All right. Still a pretty solid return, all things considered. Obviously could have been a little bit better, but with the muff, you'll take it. All right. 1st and 10 for Columbus. McLennan under center. Two backs in the backfield. Now shift into shotgun with 3 receiving options to the left, 2 to the right. Ball on their own 28. McLennan looking to throw. Has some time. Pass over the middle is caught with space. Pass midfield. Breaks off one tackle. It's a foot race. The 25. Still going inside the 20 and brought down just about the 19. Maybe they could just give him the 20. Either way, it's Tay Martin, the first play of the drive, to go damn near 60. I guess more so be damn near 50 yards on that one. McLennan under center, back behind him. Ball in the 20. Going to hand this off of the middle. And that's going to get to about the 17 for Zaquandre White. That's a really good throw for Jalen McLennan. Not necessarily over the middle. It's more so in the seam. But either way, that's a good throw. And Tay Martin, good elusiveness as well, just to get those huge extra yards. Yeah, that's about 30 plus yards of just run after the catch. McLennan under center, back behind him. 2nd and 8, gonna hand this off up the middle once again. Trying to bounce it out left side is Zaquandre White. Only picks up about 2. There was a 3rd and 6 coming up. Not bad. So the same 3rd and 5. $6:15 to play in the half. McLennan under center, back behind him. Handoff right side, gonna have the blockers to pick up the first. He gets inside the 10 to about the 7. Is Zaquandre White on the carry. The blocking up front has been there for Columbus in this one so far. It has been there. So 1st and goal, McLennan under center, back behind him. Handoff right side once again for Zaquandre White. There's the blockers, and he is in. They extend this lead 3 straight touchdown drives to begin the game for Columbus. And they're bouncing back just fine from the rough showing last week. They have figured out this Houston defense. Also, I just feel like Columbus is a good team at home as well. Obviously to a degree. Pretty sure their DC loss was at home. But I mean, this is about to be back-to-back home wins for them if they can hold on to this lead. You know, I'm saying that kind of early, but oh well. 5:44 to play in the first half. Those goalposts are shaking. What the? Those things are shaking violently. Jeez. Is it that windy there? All right, so the extra point is up, and it's right down the middle. Do not believe so. We're heading to a commercial break. But Columbus has just been clicking on all cylinders to begin this game offensively. 5:44 to play in the first half. We go to commercial break. 3 straight touchdown drives. Damn nice. Nice way to start things out. All right, at commercial break. Yeah, I didn't see him in on that drive for Houston's defense, but to be fair, Houston's defense has also been continuously rotating guys throughout it. Like DeMar Arnett has not been in consistently either. So I guess they're trying to figure something out. And giving up 3 straight touchdown drives to begin the game is not great. All right. At commercial break still. All right, just getting back from commercial break. Yeah, tomorrow at noon EST, it is DC and Dallas going at it. That game has potential to be a bit ugly, but we'll see. And then Sunday to wrap up the week is Birmingham and Orlando. But first, we got 5:44 to play in the first half in this one. Just coming back from a commercial break. We'll see how Houston can respond. For as good of a start as this game has been for Columbus, Houston has still also had back-to-back scoring drives to begin this game. Their offense is kind of matching, not to the degree you want, obviously, but they're performing to a degree. Kickoff return past the 25, past the 30, and upended around the 32. So out comes Nolan Henderson. Out comes Nolan Henderson. In shotgun, back behind him, 3 receiving options to the right. Going to hand this off right side, and going to be met behind the line for a loss of about 1 is Marcus Major on the carry. Yeah. Nolan Henderson able to use his legs a bit tonight already. He already has as many rushing yards in this game as he had all of last week. They're probably going to need a bit more of that for the rest of this one. Henderson in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the left for 2nd and 11. Ball on their own 31, play clock winding down. They get the snap off in time as Henderson looks to throw. Pass over the middle, caught past the 35 and fighting his way to about the 40. Gain of 9 for Justin Hall. And it'll be 3rd and 2 coming up. Just under 4.5 to go in the first half. Henderson in shotgun, back behind him, 3 receiving options to the right. Going to hand this off up the middle, and that is stood up at the line for no gain. Going for Marcus Major on that one, but Columbus stood him up. And with 4 minutes to play in the first half, Houston will be the first team to punt in this one. I think that Dallas offense as a whole is struggling a bit, and it's because of just how teams have played against them the past 2-3 weeks. Because through the first 2 weeks, when that Dallas offense was putting up record numbers, it was the chemistry between Austin Reed and Tyler Vaughn just doing the majority of the damage. So, Columbus and Louisville both simply said, we're going to stop Tyler Vaughn, go to someone else. And Austin Reed has kind of struggled a bit trying to do just that. And thus, the Dallas offense as a whole is struggling. Easiest way to fix it is just to get someone else more involved. And they have an easy option in Day Hunter. But they just haven't gotten him involved in the way he needs to be yet. Punt comes off clean, going to be down right around the 27 or so. So we head to commercial break with 3:13 to play in the first half. Like that Dallas offense has more talent on it than just Tyler Vaughn's. They just need to utilize them a bit better. And also like through the first 2 weeks, Austin Reed was not really getting a lot of pressure on him. He had time in the pocket. Columbus and Louisville both have been scheming up ways to get pressure on the quarterback. That's also been a factor in it. Forcing him to go quicker on his reads, which I'm not too surprised he's struggling a bit with as a younger quarterback, but that's something you can work on. Yep, add commercial break. Add commercial break. Jordan Teamu has been probably the most consistent one through 6 weeks. But he's also had a few weeks. Like week 1 was not great for him. And then for the beginning of this win streak they've been on, it was more so the ground game. Like they weren't asking him to do a whole lot. It's hard to really say who's been like truly the best. Like yeah, probably lean Teamu. I still think Austin Reed's been fine. He had one really bad game, but besides that, I'm not gonna put too much against him, too much against his struggles. McLennan has also been pretty consistent this season. Just kind of want him to be, a bit more, not athletic, but have a bit more command. But the league definitely has a talent issue at quarterback at this point, which Mike Rapoli has said that they want to fix that for next year. And I think you can confidently say there's 2 or 3 teams that probably will have the same quarterback next year. Everyone else is going to be getting a shakeup. Penalty before the snap on the first play of the game going to be probably against Columbus. No, it's against Houston. Offsides, okay. Like if Tiami wants back, he's gonna be back. I think McLennan would be the same, and then that's like the one like iffy one. Austin Reed, I think, is gonna be back next year if he continues to struggle. If not, he could be to the league, but we'll have to wait and see. Handoff left side for John Lovett, gonna be about gain of 3. I am just really curious on who they're going to look out to in terms of like the recent UDFAs and minicamp invite guys for the NFL draft. Because they could definitely find guys there that are about to be released in a few months and whatnot that can latch on and probably be better than what we've seen throughout most of the league. Toss right side on 2nd and 2, going to get about 3 or 4 for John Lovett, out of the way enough for the first. They do not need to run another play before the 2-minute warning, but I would imagine they'd do so anyway. Like I'm eyeing the fact that Haynes King has not been reached out to yet by anyone. He would be on my radar for the UFL. We'll see what happens with Diego Pavia in Baltimore. He signed there as a UDFA. We'll see if he sticks on. As we're at the 2-minute warning in this one. 2 minutes to play in this first half. Like we'll see if he sticks on. There's also gonna just a ton of those 6th, 7th round pick guys that probably gonna be practice squad players, but that might latch on to a team like Garrett Nussmeier. I could see if he doesn't latch on in Kansas City, which he most likely will. I could see him flirting the idea. The bottom line is there is a ton of quarterback talent just out there. It's not hard for the league to find. What would it be? The next. It's not really 96. It would be from 97 to whatever the number would be. Like 138. No, 128. Like it shouldn't be that hard to find those guys. As we're at commercial break for the 2-minute warning. At commercial break. All right. Final 2 minutes in this one. Columbus has the ball. Find themselves in a really damn good spot. There we go. Just getting back from commercial break, and it is pouring in Columbus right now. Jeez. I mean, as long as there's no thunder or actual like, storming, hopefully there's no weather delay in this. All right, 1st and 10. Yeah, it is a downpour, which is going to lean in favor of Columbus a bit because they can run the ball really well. McLennan under center, back and fullback behind him, man in motion right to left. McLennan looking to throw, dump off left side, gonna be caught, but that's a loss of about 3 on the halfback screen. Okay. Sure, that's a play call. Marvin Moody on the tackle for loss. Oh, and there's some shouting going on that Columbus sideline. Yeah, that's an interesting play call considering the weather conditions. 1.5 minutes to go in the first half. Now 2nd and 14. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. McLennan going to hand this off up the middle, trying to cut it out right side. And John Lovett going to fight his way to get those yards back and then some, up to about the 40-yard line. Going to be a gain of roughly 8. All right. 50 seconds to play in the half. This will be the last probably play or two in the half coming up. Houston gets ball to begin the second half, but they could probably be down by 11 with it. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left for 3rd and 7. McLennan looking to throw. Dump off over the middle. It is caught. And Jalen Moore is brought down only after a gain of 1. And it seems like Houston going to call a timeout here with 31 seconds to play in the half. They're going to try and get something out of this, maybe. No shot we go to a commercial break. With 31 seconds in the half? Fox, you kidding, right? I'm going to assume Houston's the one that called that timeout. We really going to a commercial break right there? Come on, man. What are we doing? Yeah, Houston called their second timeout. All right, at commercial break. Oh my god, Detroit has come back. And at commercial break. Again, 31 seconds to play in the half when it went to this commercial break. For some reason. All right, just getting back from commercial break. Columbus set to send this one down. Houston looking to get some more points before the end of the half here. Letting the play clock go as well in this. There we go. All right, punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 11. Makes one man miss and has space down that left side. Trying to cut back to the right and brought down right around the 17. So Houston will have 17 seconds to try and get into field goal range. Plus one timeout. So in theory they could, but in theory they could. They would have had a better chance if it wasn't downpouring right now. But I think the weather's going to play an issue in any attempt here. As well as any attempt going forward for Houston in this one, because their ground game has not been up to the task so far tonight. All right, there's the QB knee. Brings us to halftime. One half of play in the books. Columbus leads by 11. Houston will get the ball to begin the second half. So at halftime, I'll be at a commercial break here. So at halftime in this. So at commercial break. And at halftime in this. Okay, it was a great start to the game for Columbus. That last drive, and a half sub don't really put too much weight into it. Especially again, with these weather conditions now, it's going to be interesting to see how this one continues. Is there? I'm assuming if they're still set up to play, I'm assuming there's no thunder or anything. Yeah, just rain. Or I guess the more accurate one is they're saying frost on the weather app. Yeah. Yeah, it should be passing soon. Honestly, maybe by the start of the second half, the rain will pass, it seems. So that's going to help things out. But yep, at halftime. At halftime in this. You know, it's been a pretty solid game. We'll see kind of exactly how the weather impacts things going forward and how these teams look in the second half. But we shall see. At halftime in this. And it's been a pretty solid one. Week 6 will continue tomorrow at noon EST for a highly anticipated game between DC and Dallas in DC. It's anticipated for one of two reasons, and really one of two outcomes. It's either going to be a very close game and a very fun game to watch, or we're going to see DC absolutely boat race another team this year. And I'm saying that because of Dallas's run defense having not really been great so far this season, and DC's defense being fantastic this season. And then the week 6 will wrap up Sunday at 4 p.m. EST for the rematch between Birmingham and Orlando. Dorian Thompson-Robinson gets the start versus his former team on Sunday. We'll see how that one plays out as the Storm look to bounce back after the loss to St. Louis last week. Speaking of St. Louis, coming off of a pretty okay win against Louisville last night. It was a 16-3 game. The offenses couldn't really do a whole lot in it. So we'll see. We'll see. The back half of the season's underway here. We will see. As we're at halftime. At halftime, and we're at a commercial break. At commercial break for halftime. At halftime in this. We're waiting in the start of the second half. Houston will get ball to begin the second half. Be a time will tell. should begin out of halftime here soon. And again, second half should be underway here momentarily. They're going over the first half highlights right now on the broadcast. Again, it was a pretty entertaining first half of action. I'm curious how it's going to continue into the second half. Or more so, if it will continue. Only 38 passing yards for Houston in the first half. That is something. Okay. That Houston passing game should be a lot better. It just should. And if Hunter Deckers never got hurt, I think Houston's a legit team this year with what we've seen. But because of Deckers going down and Nolan Henderson having to step in, it's been a bit rough. Yep, one more commercial break before the start of the second half. All right, at halftime. Second half beginning here momentarily. We'll see Houston on offense first. Add commercial break for halftime. All right, second half underway here soon. Just getting back from commercial break. Halftime has wrapped. We will see what Houston's offense can do to begin the second half, trying to claw their way back into this one. Down by 11 after solid first half performances from Columbus. Second half underway here soon. Teams taking the field. Guys warmed up. It does seem like the rain has subsided, so that's something. Yeah, Columbus with 222 yards in the first half. That's their season high so far. All right, let's see what Houston can do. Oh, is Houston going Tonga Vailoa in the second half? Hold on. I wouldn't put it past them. Again, Nolan Henderson has yet to throw a passing touchdown this season. They have 38 yards through the air in one half of play. It has not been great for the passing game. Also, I do believe Henderson might be a little banged up, but we'll see. Second half kickoff is underway, going to be bouncing into the end zone for a touchback. Houston will begin from the 25. And out comes Tawala Tungavailoa. Okay. So 1st and 10. Tungavailoa in shotgun, back to his right. Two receivers to each side. 1st and 10, ball on their own 20 actually. Man in motion right to left. Tungavailoa looking to throw. Dump off right side for Marcus Yarns on the halfback screen. Going to get about 4. Oh, and Marcus Yarns seems to be banged up after the play. So 2nd and 6. Tungavailoa in shotgun. He nearly lined up. He nearly lined up behind the wrong lineman. In shotgun, back behind him. Toss left side for Jalen White. Gonna have space for a gain of 2. He nearly lined up behind the wrong lineman there. So 3rd and 5, they're ruling it. Tungavailoa in shotgun, back to his right. Two receivers to each side. Going to look to throw. Has some time. Pass left side is dropped. Looking for John Trey Kirkland. All right, so Houston goes 3 and out to begin the half. Punt barely comes off clean. Going to bounce and be downed at about the 34 of Columbus, so they will start from there. All right, so 13:15 to go in the quarter. We head to commercial break. All Alright, add commercial break still. Alright, just getting back from commercial break. Oh, John Lovett in shotgun. They're going to Wildcat to begin. Okay, and now they're shifted into McLennan being in shotgun. They did the same thing to begin the game. Back to his left, 3 receiving options to the left as well. Going to keep it himself up the middle on the read option in their space for a gain of 8. Alright. Solid start to the drive. So 2nd and 2, McLennan under center, back behind him, 3 receiving options to the right, man in motion right to left. Play clock winding down to get the snap off in time as they fullback dive this going right in their space past midfield. Past the 40 and out of bounds around the 38. It's Toa Tawa on the carry. They go fullback dive. And it works beautifully. Alright, so McLennan in shotgun, gonna hand this off going right for John Lovett in their space inside the 35, maybe inside the 30 to about the 29 if they're generous with the spot. Alright, so 2nd and 3, McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. Going to toss this up the middle on a weird designed halfback toss for John Lovett. It looked like they were going to go toss left and kind of like that crack toss almost. Then it seems like he wanted to cut back, like to counter it to the right. But I guess it's more so just like a standard cut back up the middle. The teams are starting to get a bit creative with the run designs in this league, and I like it. I just wish they would actually work. Because those are beautiful designs that, if they do work, would be beautiful to see. So McLennan in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receiving options to the right, looking to throw, dump off right side, going to be caught and be a loss of about 2 or 3 on 3rd and 3. Another saying incomplete. Either way, it's 4th down. All right. So out comes Ryan Coe for the field goal attempt to make this a 14-point lead. Ball is centered well, going to be about a 48-yard kick. Play clock winding down. Get the snap off in time. Kick is up, and it is good right down the middle. Not the best of leg on that one, but he did kind of have to hastily do his steps there. But kick is good nonetheless. 14-point lead for Columbus. All right, at commercial break after it. All right, at commercial break. All right, at commercial break still. And yeah, the Pistons have officially forced Game 7. Crazy. All right, just getting back from commercial break. Ryan Coe said to send this one down. Kickoff going to be returned beginning from the 6. Space out past the 20. Trying to find room down that left side past the 25, past the 30, out of bounds around the 35, maybe the 36. So 9:47 to go in the third. So 1st and 10 for Houston. Tagovailoa in shotgun, a back to each side, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Has some time, trying to roll left, and sacked. Back at his own 30. It's a loss of 7. And it is Kenny Willekes on the sack there for Columbus. This Houston passing offense is... If you combine Houston's passing offense with Louisville's run offense, you will have the 2016 Cleveland Browns. Tagovailoa toss right side, going to be a gain of about 3 or so. All right. So a 3rd and long. It was a 3rd and 14. Tagovailoa alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball on their own 33. Tagovailoa looking to throw. Quick pass right side. Going to be caught. That's a gain of only about 5 or so for Jalen Moreno Cropper. Gamblers go 3 and out on back-to-back drives to begin the second half. All right. That's a tough way to begin the half, but there's still technically time if your defense can make a stand or two. All right, punt comes off clean. Going to bounce and be returned beginning from inside the 20 at about the 18. Going backwards inside the zone 10 and eventually going to return this up to about the 13. That's a not great return there for Antoine Wells. Columbus will start backed up in their own territory. So out comes Jalen McClellan. But first, a commercial break, and I will quickly be right back. All right. Add commercial break still. Add commercial break. Magic missed 23 shots in a row to blow a 24-point lead. I can't with that. All right, at commercial break still. All right, just getting back from commercial break. They're showing a career timeline of Jalen McClellan here. You know, in his first season as a proper full-time starter, McClellan has been playing well. He has been playing well this year. I'll give him that. In this game especially, he's been solid in. He's been doing what has been asked of him. McClellan under center, back behind him, 3 receiving options to the right, gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's Toa for a gain of roughly 2 or 3. Not much else room to work there. All right, 2nd and 7 coming up. And there is a stoppage. Injury timeout then. Yeah, there's a Houston player slow to get up. not going to be enough for a commercial break, though. Marvin Moody is the one slow to get up. All right, so 2nd and 7 for Columbus. Again, if they can get another long, sustained drive here soon, they're going to be in a good spot for the rest of this. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receiving options to the left. Going to hand this off going left, and there's space for the first down. Past the 25 and brought down right around the 27. It's Toa Tawa on the carry. He has getting back to last year, Toa Tawa has become one of my favorite backs in the UFL. He was fun to watch last year when this team was the Michigan Panthers. When he gets his chances this year for Columbus, he is a fun watch. He's a good power back. I kind of just wish he would get more of a runway to work with, but there's also 2 other really good backs on this Columbus team. There's a halfback screen for Toa Tawa along the left side, gonna find space past the 30 to about the 33, maybe 34. Gain of roughly 5 or so. And he's just a good hard-nosed running back. He's fun to watch. I mean, he led the league. He led the league last year in rushing touchdowns, and he only played like half the year. He's a good back. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side. A 2nd and 3, they're saying. Going to hand this off, bounces out left side, and going to be enough for the first as Jaquandre White fights his way past the 40, past the 45, and out of bounds around the 49. Again, that's the thing with Columbus this year is they have 3 really solid running backs. So it's hard for any of them to really get enough of a runway. The only one that really does have a decently sized runway is going to be John Lovett. He's their main back. But like Jaquandre White is still solid. Toa Tawa is still solid. Those are 2 backs that could definitely use a bit more runway with them. McLennan under center, gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's gonna get to right around midfield. 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. All right, 2nd and 8. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right, gonna toss this up the middle on that same toss cutback play, but he gets back to the line of scrimmage for no gain for John Lovett. Again, it's a good play design. It just doesn't get executed how they want it to. All right, 3rd and 8. All right, McLennan in shotgun, back to his left, looking to throw in 3rd and 8. Pressure coming, dump off right side, going to be caught by Antoine Wells. He gets past midfield to about the Houston 47, going to make it a 4th and about 5. But now Columbus has to go for it here. 3.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. So 4th and 5. So McLennan in shotgun, looking to throw, rolling right, going to take it himself. And going to be marked just shy of the first, it seems. It's a turnover on downs for Columbus. Houston's defense makes a stand there. But can the offense do something with this? That's now the question. Just under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. They have time to come back. They just need the offense to play their role. But first, we had to commercial break. At commercial break. All right. Again, it's been just like last week. The second half isn't as entertaining as the first half. The defenses have been more so on display in this, but it has still been a solid game all around. It is still a game that has been enjoyable. But yeah. At commercial break with 2:57 to play in 2:57 to play in the third quarter. All right, should be coming out of commercial break here soon. Here we go. Just getting. Oh, Columbus challenged something on that? During commercial break, they challenged something. Was it defensive holding? Gets an arm around. Are they gonna, I don't think they're gonna give that to him though. Yeah, because McLennan's leaving the pocket by the time that arm is really makes an impact. Are they gonna give him this challenge? I wouldn't be too surprised by it. Yeah, Mike Pierre taking a look at this. I mean, this could be I wouldn't say game changer, but this could be a big challenge if Columbus wins it. The main question is where is McLennan by the time that arm gets around Antoine Wells? We'll see. It's an interesting challenge. I guess they probably are not going to need this later on. Yeah, it seems like they're going to lose this just based off of that reaction by Ted Ginn after the ref discussed with him. Yep, Columbus loses the challenge. They'll burn a timeout. I mean, they're up by 14. It shouldn't impact them too much, but we'll see. You never know. You never know. Tagovailoa in shotgun, back to his left. Two receiving options to each side. Ball on their own 43-yard line. Going to play action and dump this off left side. It's caught with space past midfield. Breaks off one tackler, has some more room. Inside the 40 and down to about the 36. It is Jorgarius Spivey on the grab. And they go up tempo here. Tagovailoa in shotgun, back to his left. Two receiving options to each side. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's gonna get about 5 for Marcus Major. Second and 6 coming up. Tagovailoa in shotgun, back to his right. Two receiving options to each side. 2 minutes to play in the third. Toss pass forward, has some room down that right side. Inside the 25 and down to about the 24 is Justin Hall on the reception. All right, they're starting to move a bit. They're starting to move a bit here. Tagovailoa in shotgun, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. Ball now on the Columbus 23-yard line. Handoff up the middle, gonna fight his way to about the 21, maybe the 20. Oh, Tampa, Montreal is in overtime right now? Hold on. Put that game on in the background. Tagovailoa in shotgun, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. Play action, rolling to his left. Passing left side for the end zone. It's there for Lawrence Keys. Houston cuts this deficit in half, pending the extra point. That's a beaut of a throw from Tawala Tagovailoa to Lawrence Keys. And Houston, now a 1-score game because of it. All right, hey, pressure is on Columbus now. 48 seconds to play in the third. Pressure is right back onto Columbus. Houston's offense got clicking a bit there. John Hoyland for the extra point. It is up, and this game is at a 7-point difference. Montreal about to go on a power play? Come on. Edmonton got eliminated last night. I need Tampa to get eliminated tonight. It's not in the background right now because this is still set up for when the draft was last week. But I'll have to decide. I have my Florida Panthers jersey. Also, you can kind of see the Stanley Cups behind me from the past 2 years. So yeah, it's if Florida can't make it, I don't want Tampa to go far. Also, it helps that there's a 3-2 series lead for Vegas. Okay, that whatever then. All right, 48 seconds to play in the third. Portland on to send this one down. See what Columbus can do to respond. Still up by 7, but pressure's on. Kickoff going to be returned beginning from the 3. Base out past the 10, past the 15, the 20, 20, out of bounds at the 25. So out comes Jalen McClellan. It was a solid drive building for Columbus the last time out. Just, turn it over on downs there with a very tight fourth down. Nearly got the first. The challenge didn't go their way. What can you do here? Probably about one or two more plays before the end of the quarter. McClellan under center, back behind him. Going to hand this off up the middle, and there's room for Saquandre White to get about 3, maybe 4. And that might be the final play of the quarter, it seems. Damn, Montreal can't score in this power play? And yeah, Columbus does not need to run one more play. So they're going to run the clock out. End of the third quarter. 15 minutes remain. Columbus looking to get their second win on the season. Houston looking to win back-to-back and get to 3-3 on the year. 15 minutes to decide. It's a 7-point Columbus lead. They have the ball. That'll be a second and roughly 6 coming up, but first a commercial break. All right. Are the Raptors about to force a game 7? All right. But at commercial break. All right. At commercial break, waiting for the start of the fourth quarter. There's 12 minutes remaining in this first overtime between Tampa and Montreal. Come on. I don't care what Montreal does after this series. I just need them to win tonight. Still at commercial break. Still at commercial break. Waiting for the start of the fourth. Columbus will continue the drive when we get out of the commercial break. Should be soon, I would imagine. Tampa forces a game 7. Damn. Okay. Just getting back from commercial break. Start of the fourth quarter. It's a second and roughly 7 for the Aviators. McLennan under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Tight end in motion towards the backfield. Going to be acting as a fullback. McLennan, play action, looking to throw. Stepping up, has some time. Deep shot over the middle into double coverage. Is incomplete. Thought I might have been picked there for a second. Had a chance to be picked by Glendon Miller, but couldn't hang on to it. It's 3rd and 7. That forced, I believe that was Antoine Wells. No, Jalen Moore had to play safety on that one. Yeah. So 3rd and 7. McLennan in shotgun, looking to throw. Has some time, pass over the middle is caught, but going to be short of the first, picks up 6. So the Aviators go 3 and out after Houston pushes it to a 7-point game. Oh, pressure's on now. Pressure is building. Still early in the 4th, but Houston has a chance to tie things up. All right, punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 12, space past the 15, past the 20. Gonna find room past the 25 and brought down right around the 28. So good punt return. And out comes Tauala Tungavailoa. What can Houston's offense do as we head to a commercial break first? Just over 13 minutes to play in the game. We're at commercial break. All right, at commercial break. Houston has a good chance here. Houston has a good chance here. At commercial break. All right, just getting back from commercial break. We have one more game on Fox this week. Oh. Okay. All right. Tungavailoa in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receivers to the right. 13:20 to go in the game. Pass right side, gonna be dropped. Incomplete, looking for Justin Hall on the quick slant. 2nd and 10 coming up. I mean, Houston has a ton of momentum right now. This really does feel like it needs to be the drive for them if they're going to complete the comeback. Tungavailoa in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Play clock winding down to get the snap off in time. Play action looking to throw. Pass left side, going to be caught by John Trey Kirkland and brought down for a gain of about 6. All right, not bad. So 3rd and 4 coming up. Tagovailoa in shotgun. Back to his left, 3 receivers to the right. Ball on their own 34-yard line. They need the 38. Play clock winding down. They get the snap off in time. Tagovailoa pass over the middle is incomplete. Looking for the quick slant, not going to be there. Fred Tompkins in coverage, and it's a 3 and out for the Gamblers. Looking for Armani Rogers on the play. Yeah, just a little bit too far inside. Usually kind of wanted a penalty there, but not enough on it to force it. So they punt this one away. They go 3 and out. Punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 27, gets past the 30 to the 32. Not bad. So 1st and 10 Columbus. McLennan taking the field. First and 10 Columbus. $11:26 to play in the game. They could have a big drive here to close things out. This is a team that could easily have a 10+ minute drive. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's gonna be stuffed at the line for no gain. All right. Yeah, the first 3 drives of this game went great for Columbus. The past 4 not been the same. But again, now they're gonna try to kill some time. That's all it really is. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side. Play clock winding down. Get the snap off in time. McLennan looks to throw. Pass over the middle is bobbled and incomplete. Looking for Antoine Wells. 3rd and 10 coming up. And that is a mere speed with the coverage to force it loose. Yeah, good job getting the hand in there. They're going to be a 3rd and 10. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. Play clock winding down, and they're gonna call a timeout before the play clock expires. So only 1 timeout remains for Columbus, and pressure is on them a bit now with 1 timeout and haven't really been able to do much this half. There is some pressure on the Aviators to get their shit together. So 3rd and 10. Third and 10. Minutes to play in the game. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. McLennan going to look to throw. Has some time. Pass over the middle. Is caught for the first. He gets to midfield. It's Tay Martin on the grab. They keep the drive alive, and they're able to kill more time in this one. That's the key thing. Really good throw from McLennan once again. He can hit that. He can hit that seam really well. Maybe a tad bit high, but it still allowed Martin to go up and get it and then come down and protect himself. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Ball at midfield. And there's movement up front before the snap. Going to be a false start against the Aviators. With 9:26 to play in the game. All right, Columbus had a season high for yards in this game, 330, but a lot of that was in the first half. So McLennan under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Play action, looking to throw in 1st and 15. Pass right side, going to be caught past midfield and out of bounds around the 42. Jalen Moore on the grab. 9:20 to play in the game. Third. So a 2nd and 3 coming up. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to get the snap off in time as they hand this off up the middle. Gonna fight his way just shy of the first for John Lovett. Gonna mark him down for a 3rd and inches coming up. Just under 8:40 to play in the game in counting. McLennan under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. There's the QB sneak, and there is a 1st down pickup for the Aviators. They're continuing to kill time well on this drive. First and 10. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Ball on the Houston 39-yard line. McLennan going to read option this one left and going to fight his way for... Oh, the ball comes loose. It seems like Columbus picks up the fumble. They do, but McLennan almost had back-to-back weeks of late 4th quarter fumbles. But still, like, that's still... Pretty sure that's his 7th fumble on the season, even though it's not a lost fumble. It's still a fumble. Damon Arnett, the one to force it. Luckily, Columbus falls on it. McLennan's having a fumbling issue this year. Okay, no, his knee was down, it seems, but still, like, that's tough. All right, so 2nd and 9. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on the Houston 38. Going to hand this off up the middle for John Lovett. There's space inside the 35 to about the 32, maybe 31 if they're generous with the spot. Either way, a 3rd and relatively short coming up. And I'm saying 3rd and 3. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Ball on the Houston 32. Gonna shovel this one forward for Gunnar Oaks, who fights his way to the 30. Not gonna be enough for the first. So a 4th and 1 coming up, and that might have been Jalen Moore out of Wildcat. Either way, it's a 4th and 1. You're up by 7, and out comes the field goal unit to make this back to a 2-possession lead with under 6 minutes to play in the game. On comes Ryan Coe. Made it from 48 earlier in the game. This one from 49 and the left hash to put Columbus up 10. They're gonna kill some time before actually kicking this. All right, kick is up and it's no good. He missed it wide right. Houston's alive with 5:29 to play. Oh, Houston has a chance. Houston will have a chance. That's a pretty bad miss to the right as well. But yeah, brings us to a commercial break. At commercial break. 5:29 to play in this one. Houston has life. But it's probably going to come down to this next drive. So at commercial break with it. Also, some Miami Dolphins news because Stephen Ross had a conference the other day. According to him, Dolphins owner, the Miami no longer meets the requirements to host a Super Bowl. That would explain why it's going to be going on 10 years without a Super Bowl being in Miami. I'm curious on if Ross is going to want to how Ross is going to want to handle that. I would imagine he's not too thrilled about that, but at the same time, part of the reason that is the case is because he has done a lot of renovations to the area for F1 races and the Miami Open and all that to be in that same vicinity. So a lot of the parking that was once there at Hard Rock or what was Sun Life and Joe Robbie and all that is now gone. So that's part of the issue with this. But we'll see. All right, Tagovailoa in shotgun. Back to his right. Going to hand this off up the middle. And that's stuffed at the line for no gain. All right. So 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa in shotgun. Back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Ball on their own 39. Tagovailoa looking to throw. Pressure coming. Pass right side for the receiver screen is going to be off the mark and incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up. All right. So 3rd and 10. Tagovailoa alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. To get the snap off in time as he looks to throw. Rolling left, trying to buy some time, and he fumbles, and the ball goes out of bounds. He just drops the ball. He legit just drops the ball as he's rolling out. That's crazy. On a big 3rd and 10 like that, you just drop the ball. It hits off his thigh, but still, how does that happen? All right, so Houston goes 3 and out. They have the punt. Punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 30 out of bounds at 30 as well. So 3:47 to play in the game, and that very well might be the last time Houston's offense is on the field in this one. Columbus can definitely kill the remaining time. But we shall see. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Going to hand this off up the middle, and that's stuffed at the line for no gain for Zaquandre White. This Houston defense can keep him in as best they can. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Raptors forced 7. Raptors forced game 7. Damn. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, looking to throw in 2nd and 10. Dump off right side, caught by Tay Martin. Gonna get past the 35, breaking off 2 tacklers, and picks up the first to about the 43. Tay Martin with some great hard-nosed run after the catch there. And it's 1st and 10 Columbus. One more play will get this to the 2-minute warning. McLennan under center, back and fullback behind him. Man in motion right to left. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and there's space. Pass midfield, and Zaquandre White gonna pick up the first, it seems. Right around the Houston 48. Let's get out of bounds, so the clock will stop briefly. And I'm gonna say 2nd and 1. Honestly, been kind of a blessing in disguise there. It's 2nd and 1. They can let this run down to the 2-minute warning. Thus making it to where basically just a 1-yard pickup would go a long way to closing this one out. With Houston only having 3 timeouts. And there's the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play from Columbus. We're going to head to commercial break. I will quickly be right back. All right, still at commercial break for the 2-minute warning. Let's see if Columbus can close this one out. Can they close it out? It's a 2nd and 1 coming up just past midfield. They're going to have a chance to do so. Hello. Yeah, game just about to wrap up here. Pretty much if they get this first down, it'll pretty much close this game out. With the amount of time that would be remaining for Houston to get the ball back wouldn't be enough, I don't think. That Ted Ginn looking at the camera when the ref's trying to talk to him. All right, 2nd and 1. Ball just past midfield at the Houston 47.5-yard line. McClendon under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Tynan in motion right to left. McClendon QB sneak, and there's the first. It's a gain of 2, and Houston will start to call their timeouts. There's their first with 1:56 to play in this one. All right, 1st and 10. Oh no, they're not calling timeout. So letting this clock run. Houston just a minute in the field. Okay. McClendon under center, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. Toss left for Zaquandre White, trying to bounce it out some more. Breaks off tacklers in the backfield, cuts back right, and gonna lose about 15. And now Houston will start to call their timeouts. Okay, I get it. There's the first timeout, but that's a massive loss of yards for Columbus. A loss of 9. That felt like longer than a loss of 9, but okay. All right. 2nd and 19 coming up for Columbus. I'm curious where this would put them on in the standings. They would join Houston and Louisville at 2 and 4. Would this just put them at like 6 in the standings, or would they be shot up to 5th? I think it doesn't matter for my ranking specifically, but that's just curious for the official standings. McClendon in shotgun, back to his right, going to look to throw. Quick pass left side is caught by Tay Martin. He gets out of bounds on only a gain of 2. Houston will be able to save a timeout here. They're going to have a proper shot at this, especially with the fact that Columbus can't punt. It's a 3rd and 16 now. I mean, if they get to the 4, but Ryan Coe doesn't have a leg on him like that. His long is 53. McClendon in shotgun, back to his left. Get the snap off in time, and no, now they're saying there's a penalty down. This false start on Columbus. Oh, the panic. Yeah, false start against Columbus. Gonna be a third and 21. Oh. Third and 21. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion, left to right. McLennan looking to throw. Pass left side for the halfback screen for Shaquandre White. Going to lose about 4 or 5. Houston calls their second timeout. Houston's going to have excellent starting field position. With a chance to tie. Oh, Columbus just messed up. The loss of 9 is what's going to get them the most with this. Because then from there, it kind of just a waste of that pretty much killed the drive. But 1 timeout remains for Houston. They're going to be able to use that on offense. All they have to do is pretty much just... Why is the... No, they should not be able to punt here. They went past midfield. Why is the punt unit on the... Oh, it's under 2 minutes. Duh, yeah. That's part of the rule. Alright, so they'll punt this one away. We have not seen that part of the rule having to be used yet this season. I legit forgot it was a part of it. Yeah, since we're under 2 minutes, Columbus can still punt. Even though they passed midfield on this drive. Alright, punt comes off clean. Going to be a great punt. Returned beginning from the 6. Gets out past the 10 and brought down at the 16. That's a great punt. In Houston inside their own 20. That's an excellent job there. So it's 1st and 10 with 57 seconds. And out comes Tawala Tungavailoa. Needing to go the length of the field to potentially send this game to overtime or give Houston the lead, depending on what conversion attempt they go for. So Tungavailoa in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receivers to each side. Going to look to throw. Rolling right and sacked. Back at his own 7. It's Ron Stone Jr. And Tungavailoa is hurt. That's going to use Houston's last timeout. Yeah, he's hurt. Tough to see, but that's gonna use Houston's last time out. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, Nolan Henderson is also hurt in this game. That's why Tungavailoa was in the first place. So who's even gonna be the quarterback for this? Wait. Hunter Deckers is gonna... Okay, sure. Why not? Hunter Decker's in the game. I thought he was... Okay. I thought he... I mean, he's clearly not healthy enough to be the backup right now. If he has to be the 3rd string and the emergency quarterback. Nolan Henderson clearly not healthy enough either. So Hunter Deckers with 53 seconds left, trying to create a miracle here, it seems. I'm sure. Okay. Right now he's on his... Him and Henderson are on the sideline. What's... Oh no. Who's in? Jontre Kirkland's at quarterback? What's happening here? It's Jontre Kirkland, the receiver in that quarterback. There's a design QB keeper up the middle. I guess they're just trying to close this game out, since there's not enough time left with where they're at on the field. They still go hurry up though. Okay, Kirkland in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, going to look to throw. And there's going to be a penalty before the snap, a false start. Yeah, false start against Houston. And there's the 10-second runoff. So 25 seconds to go in the game. Kirkland looking to throw. Rolling right, trying to buy some time, stepping up, and going to be brought down for a gain of about 2. That's going to be the icer. The Columbus Aviators get their get back after last week's loss to Houston. They win back-to-back games at home on the season. They move to 2-4 on the year. One final desperation play. Kirkland's pass is intercepted. And this is going to be returned inside the 15, the 10, and down to about the 5. It don't matter. The Columbus Aviators avoid collapsing late in this one. They get the win for this Friday night edition of the UFL. Tomorrow at noon EST, it is Dallas taking on DC in what should be a pretty interesting game. But this one, Columbus, now 2-4. They join Louisville at that 2-4 record, and obviously Houston as well. They fall to 2-4. And down the stretch, Columbus could be a pretty sneaky team down the stretch. A team that can definitely play spoiler, depending on the matchups. They play next week against St. Louis to kick off week 7. Houston next week plays Orlando on Sunday. That should be a pretty interesting one. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Again, I'll be live tomorrow at noon for DC Dallas, and I'll be live Sunday at 4 p.m. EST as well for Birmingham Orlando. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I'll see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.